Hello there everyone, my name is Chris, and even though you can't see me, I am the man collects. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video on YouTube. If you do end up enjoying this, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the man collects, consider clicking subscribe. If you do, make sure you turn on the bell for notifications so you'll know when content drops. If you go to the description of this video, you'll see a link to get to my Instagram, so go there, check that out, give me a follow, send me a message should you choose to. Alright, all my shameless plugs are out of the way. Let's get down and take a look at what we're going to be doing in this video. And that is unboxing and building and taking a look at the Fantastic Four versus Galactus construction figure from Lego Marvel. This is 427 pieces, set number 76316, based on the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Was very excited about this when it came out, just at the prospects of a brick-built Galactus. And you can tell by looking at the figures here, he's about in kind of true minifigure form. He maybe should have been a little bit bigger. We'll take a look at that once we get it out and get it built. This is $59.99. You can pick it up anywhere Lego is sold, online. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at Target, wherever you like to buy your buildable brick sets from. If you're not familiar with my reviews, we'll take a look at the packaging on this, then we'll open it up, we'll take a look at the minifigures, then we'll do the main build and look at that here at the end. But you can see here on your packaging, you got your Fantastic Four, a little First Steps corner up here, you got your Marvel and Lego branding, recommended for ages 9 and up, set number, set name, piece count, all that wonderful stuff. You look down here at the bottom, you'll see in this one you get a Reed Richards, a Sue Storm, a Johnny Storm, and a Ben Grimm. So no Human Torch. You got Johnny here kind of half human torch there, I guess. He's got some flames coming off his feet. Curious to see what this looks like and we'll get it out here and get it put together rather than just looking at images on the box here as far as Mr. Fantastic's legs. I haven't seen the movie, so you guys have seen the movie that watch this can let me know. Is he normal person size in the movie, or is he bigger? A lot of times in the comics and TV shows, he can be just a little bit bigger than the human characters, and sometimes he's like Incredible Hulk size. But what I'm getting at, so I'm thinking, shouldn't he not have been a bigger body minifigure and not a regular one? We'll have to wait and see once we see the movies. I haven't seen it yet. You turn to the side, you got your basic Lego Marvel branding. On the back, you got another image here of them fighting Galactus. Now, one thing I do like that they did with this figure, they did put little studs in the side of his palm so you can stick the minifigures to his hands. Like, he's got a hold of them. It's got a little bracket here on the back you'll be able to attach so Johnny can fly over top of him. What I'm trying to get at, this is a self-contained set. You can put all the figures stuck to the Galactus thing and not have to have them, scattered around, falling off shelves or whatever. But you can see there what you got on the back. It's got the little push tabs. I like the tape better than the push tabs to open it. You got some more branding there on the side. Nothing too exciting. Nothing too exciting on the top. There's your actual 1-of-1 scale of how big the minifigures are. It's on every Lego set that has minifigures. And there is your legalese on the bottom, along with your barcode. If you want to take a screenshot of that, you can have your retailer scan it in case you don't see it in that store, and they can tell you if they're going to get it. But that is enough for the box art. Let's take this out now, let's open it up, and let's take a look at our minifigures, and then let's build and review Galactus. In case you're curious of what's inside the box, you got 4 bags on this thing to put it together. And again, you got, what, 427 pieces, I think? Yeah, 427 piece count. So 4 bags to get through. And I can tell you one thing that I saw when I opened this up that kind of took me down a little bit. You got a lot of sticker elements on these things. It's not, I mean, it's an expensive set, don't get me wrong, but $60 for almost 450 pieces, an intellectual property, and a movie to boot. I can kind of see that price point being higher, but man, look at this. You got all kinds of, this is the one thing right here that I don't like about Lego is the stickers. I like printed pieces better than that. I wish on the buildable figure here you got more printed pieces rather than sticker elements. But in case you're wondering a disbursement of everything, you do have a good size sticker sheet. We got our book, and we got 4 bags here to put together. It looks like some of the minifigures are in the different bags. So right now, let's get this open. We're going to build us a Galactus, put us together some minifigures, and then next time you see me, I promise we'll be doing a review after you see the build. And we are assembled. Before we take a look at Galactus, let's take a look at the minifigures. First off, we have Mr. Fantastic. And I have to say, for a minifigure head sculpt, I mean, I don't know. You let me guys know what you think. I can see Pedro Pascal on that. The minifigures, the outfits look great. You know, that Fantastic Four uniforms there. You got some detailing there on the belt and stuff. You can see some little color pieces on there signifying different things. I haven't seen the movie to know what any of that is. And again, your face sculpt there with the beard and a little mustache and stuff. I mean, it kind of mimics what you got for Pedro Pascal, the actor. No arm printing, no leg printing on these things. On the back, and you spun around with the camera zoom. There you go. You can see some of the, I guess, the sticker or the painted on texturing for the Fantastic Four uniforms. But the chest pieces is all you've got any kind of printed stuff on for these minifigures. Now, you do have two different faces you can do for Mr. Fantastic there. You know, if you take his hair off here, we'll show you on the back of the figure. There is the other face sculpt you can go with, or face expression, whatever you want to call it there. But like I said, I picked the one where he's kind of looking happy and smug, but not kind of silly at the same time. Now, the thing with this minifigure, they had to, of course, try to incorporate his stretching ability. They did that. You know, we'll just pop him off these like stilt things, but you have a couple, I always call these zebra pieces. I don't know what they're actually called. It's what I always call them. You got that and these long one stud things here that symbolize his stretched out legs. Now, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in that. The reason being, there is a set from, I think, One Piece that's out right now where they have a character who has two big, long rubber, flexible rubber arms that come out of there. I kind of think that would be better for Mr. Fantastic, or I don't know how you really could have done it. I would have been more happy with just a plain figure. I mean, that's a cool way to work it in, I guess. I mean, he's got his feet stretched out, and he's stretching up to symbolize the stretching ability of him there. But I think something more pliable with his arms would have been a little bit better than the things here with his legs. But then again, it is a Lego minifigure. What you really going to do with it? Other than that, though, I do think it's a good minifigure, and I probably, I don't know if I'm going to keep these little stilt thingies on him when I pose him with Galactus. I mean, I might to keep from losing the pieces. But once again, there's your Mr. Fantastic. The foreign stuff on the chest, looks good on these figures. But let's take a look at his lovely bride. Let's take a look at Sue Storm. And there is the Invisible Woman. I called her Sue Storm, Susan Richards, Susan Storm, whatever you want to call her. Her maiden name is Storm. Now with her, she comes with a couple of accessories. You can see there the translucent little bubbles that you put together to make like her little force fields on there. She uses a couple of those. I think that looks pretty cool. I think it's kind of an accurate symbolism of her powers. Now, of course, they could have made like a little bit of frosting or something on these to make it look a little bit wavy. I mean, I don't know about the new movie, but it's how they've made it look in previous, film versions of Fantastic Four to show her powers there. But as far as the figure, you can take a look here and see you got the same kind of chest and belt printing there on this one as Mr. Fantastic. No leg, no arm prints, and the same thing on the back. So pretty much the use of the exact same body, you just have a different head, and then of course the longer hair piece. Now, like Mr. Fantastic, she does have an alternate head or facial expression you can use. Let me get her back on my little stand here. There you can see the other facial expression you can use. More stoic, I guess, for her. I'm going to have them posed up with Galactus. Of course, I want the aggressor, like their fighting faces on there when we sticking with him. So there you go with Mrs. Richards, or Mrs. Storm. We got the Invisible Woman. We got to look at her. So let's switch around now, and let's take a look at Human Torch. Alright, here we go with Johnny. Now, Johnny does come with this little base you can pop onto his feet there and put his little flame tails off like he's flying, and the flames are coming off. I have to say, guys, this figure right here, it looks good for what it is, but I was a little disappointed we didn't get a flame-on version of Human Torch. We got this one here. Maybe he does it. Maybe he's like this more in the movie, and he doesn't get to the full flamed-on version to the end. I have no idea. Again, I have not seen the film. But I wish we would have got a flamed version of Human Torch instead of getting, I guess, a partially one here of Johnny Storm. But same thing as the other two we just looked at there, guys. You got the same torso and chest printing on this, nothing on the arms and legs. So pretty much the exact same base figure with just a different head sculpt there and hair. But again, like the others, and we'll see if we can spin the hair around. There we go. You can see there on the back, the other face, it was kind of like he's freaked out. So once again, I'm going to have these posed up. And he actually attaches to the back of Galactus using his little stuff here. So we'll probably end up doing that with him and leaving this stuff off. He's flying around behind Galactus. You might have saw that in the stop mo or the sped up version there when I was building Galactus, a little plastic piece on his back, and you'll see it again here in a second. He does come with these little flippers, and you can push on these and let him go, and they'll shoot out of his hand, but I'm going to leave him in there like he's got, the flames coming off when he's flying up, getting ready to attack Galactus. But Once again, not a bad figure here of what it is just for a Fantastic Four version of Johnny Storm, but I wish we would have had a more flamed version of Human Torch. But let's take a look now at the next most disappointing figure, the Thing. I really try when I do reviews not to focus on negative, but look at this. I'm sorry. I know. I wish they would have gave us kind of like, not really what I could call a mega fig, but the bigger figs we get with this for the Thing. But then again, maybe in the movie he's not much bigger than the other Fantastic Four characters. Again, I haven't seen the film, haven't paid that much attention to his scale compared to the others in the previews, but. The things I don't like about this Thing, I don't like the headpiece here, but I get that's probably going to be typical for a Thing figure. The hands are stupid. I'm sorry. I would rather them just painted light tan hands on here instead of the white, instead of giving us these little clip-on fist thingies. And I know for Thanos, you had that on him a lot too, on some of the smaller body figures of him, for the Infinity Gauntlet and all that. But as far as the figure goes, you do get the same chest piece here, the same back printing, and the same everything else as the other figures. You just have the hand accessories that clip on. And I mean, look at this. You have this small body figure with enormous hands. I mean, this just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, it doesn't look good. I can't recall if he has two different face sculpts. Let's see. He does. He's got one on the back there where he's just kind of looking stoic, with a little small smirk going on there. And they did put good detailing on the face. Let me see if I can pop this little headpiece up. I would almost just leave him like that, but I think that looks better than having this little rocked out little helmet on him there. So we may just go with that for the Thing and leave that one little piece off of him there. But like I said, not a bad figure. And if you look at that right there, you do have a lot of good detailing and stuff on the face, or the faces. I just don't care much for his toupee, and then the blocked hands there are that's pretty bad in my opinion. And I hate to be negative, but the minifigures is one of the things I like the most about these sets. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look now at something that I think did redeem the entire set, and that is Galactus. This right here, everybody, is the reason that I bought and I wanted this set. I wanted the brick-built Galactus. If you've watched my channel, my toy hunts or whatever, you hear me go on, I like the Lego buildable figures. This one is no different. I do really like this Galactus figure, and to me, this made the set worth it, where the minifigures for the Fantastic Four fell a little bit short, in my humble opinion. First thing let's take a look at is how tall is this guy. So we got our handy-dandy tape measure. Let's just see here from the bottom of his foot up to the top. He's almost 12 inches. I guess maybe with the little peaks there, he's really close. He's at least, you can see there, about 11 and a half inches with his little peak on his helmet there. So good size figure, and he does scale well as far as towering over the minifigures, because there you go with the Sue Storm figure. You can see, I mean, she's right here at the bottom of his foot. She doesn't come up much past his shin, so good size compared to the Fantastic Four minifigures to give an accurate representation of Galactus's immense size. Now we're going to take a look at him top down like this. I'll get my table up here and we'll stand him up, pose with the figures at the end for some final thoughts. But let's go ahead and take a look at our Galactus figure. Downfall to this. Number one downfall to this is stickers. Now I gotta say, I try to do my best placing these stickers, but you have a stickered element here on his chest emblem. I tried to get that as centered as I could on there. You have stickers on one piece of his arms. I don't know how good you can tell there with the contrast. That blue right there is stickers on both of his arms. These are individual. Let me move his hand out of the way there. I'm sorry. These are individual stickers on these little side skirts on him, and I tried to line those up the best I can. These really made me the most nervous, and you can see I don't have them perfect because I tried to get them to line up where they're in line with this stuff. The more you got them in line here, the more it seemed to be off with that purple brick. So they're not perfect. I hate that. I wish I could have got them a little bit better, but I did the best I could with those on both sides of that. These were pretty easy. I lined that part up at the bottom and got those on there for the little front flaps. And then this one over here is the exact same as the one we looked at on the other side. But again, you got a sticker piece here, and sticker piece there. I know it's a lot to ask for, and if it were printed pieces, the price on this probably would have been higher. I wish you would have got printed pieces on that. But let's start up here where you did have a printed piece, and that is with the face. And check that out. I think the head looks great. This is adjustable. You can fix his little antennae ever how you want to. If you want to put him flat against his head so you know they're both even, you can do that. So the head sculpt does look pretty good on it, and I'll get those fixed back in a minute. I'm too concerned with that right now. But you can get a look at that there and see what that looks like. As far as articulation, these are on ball joints, so he can look all the way around if he wants to. He can look behind him like that. So you do have good range of motion with the head, the way that's on that big ball joint in there. He can also look up pretty good. He can also look down very well to look down on the Fantastic Four trying to attack him. So do like that. You don't have any side-to-side movement like you might move with a regular action figure, where it is locked in that ball joint in there the way you see, the way it's built. Coming down to the arms, you do have good shoulder articulation. They're on ball joints as well. They'll go out to there. You can't move it. You can move it a little bit to the front there, a little bit to the back. Well, actually more to the back than you can the front, but you can see the flexion you've got in there on that shoulder joint, moving it that way. As far as you're going down, it goes down about as far as you want it to go. And then you move down to your elbow. You have a little bit of elbow articulation. His hand will not go any straighter than that because that little wedge piece there blocks it. But as far as folding it up, it's almost like a double jointed elbow. I mean, it folds up there pretty well as far as folding up his arm. The fingers are all individually built, so you can move them. He's got 4 fingers. But one thing that I do like, you have a stud here in both of his palms. So what you can do with that, you can take him on the back of the minifigures there. You got those circles. If you move his thumb out of the way, you can pop that on there like they're in the palm of his hand and hold on like he's holding on to them. You can take them up, and there you go. He's got Sue Storm in his hand. He's got a grip on her there going on. So kind of a way to have the figures interacting more with the big buildable Galactus figure. Your articulation on this arm, of course, is going to be the exact same. He is on a ball joint on his waist, so you can turn him. And again, you can turn him all the way around if you want to. So that's pretty cool as far as that goes. There's no rocking back and forth motion on that, only that right there. And there's no tilting him side to side. He just spins the way that pin is in the center of his chest there. As far as the back of his upper torso, you got a little bit of exposed studs and stuff back there, these little pieces here, but I mean, that's to be expected on a set with this price point. This is the piece where you can attach the Human Torch. You can plug these studs here in this little base, of course, into the holes there in the back of Johnny's legs, and have him like he's flying above Galactus there trying to attack him. And that can swing around, if you want to move it to that side. Instead of having him on the side I had him on, you can do that, or leave it halfway in the back like he's trying to sneak up behind him, or something like that to give him a little more playability and posability features with this Galactus set. So I do like that. We're just going to take that off altogether, lay Johnny back over to the side. Alright, now the part I think looks the clunkiest about him, let's just put his hands up here behind his head like he's getting arrested. I'm going to try to position his legs out when I do something with him. Maybe, I don't want him to look too bow-legged there, but try to get it out where it fills in more of that. These look a little bit, bulky compared to the rest of the figure. But now they will where they're on the hinge joints. If you want to have him, doing some Jean-Claude Van Damme split kicks trying to attack the Fantastic Four, you can. And these do move to accommodate that. So that's cool. A lot of times on a regular action figure, these would be more fixed in place where you couldn't do stuff like that. But these are on ball, or in, I don't know what you call those little pivot things there, the pin joints. They go in there, they're kind of ratcheting. You can probably tell by the way I'm turning it there. It's giving me a little bit of like a clicking. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it does make it where you can position his leg in multiple different ways, and it is very, very flexible. And the way it's locked in there very securely, so I do like that. You got a ball joint here on his knee, so you can see there you got a lot of flexibility in the leg. Not a whole lot of forward motion on it because this kind of catches. But as far as bending the leg back, you can bend his knee back about that far. So that's pretty cool for articulation on a brick-built figure, I think. And then again, you got a lot of wiggling down here. That's really going to help to be able to balance this guy. We'll take a look at that here in a minute as well. As far as his feet, you can see here they're on one of those little ball joints as well, so you got a lot of flexion here to move the foot around as far up and down, left and right. Also really helps with positioning the feet to get this guy to stand. Now I did watch some other reviews where the reviewers were saying they had trouble getting him to stand. Honestly, the way the legs are made, I don't understand why you can't get him to stand. All you gotta do is position the legs out, and when you get him out where you want his legs, you just push down and his feet fold into place. As you can see, he's sturdy. I'm shaking my table right now and he's barely moving. So I think he's very, very sturdy. You put him on a shelf, I wouldn't much worry about him falling. You can see here one thing I like as well on the feet. Let me show you. Let me get these little flaps back down here. And of course, these right here are on hinges too. So if he has to pee, he'll be able to get to that or whatever on there. But those you can move to depending on how you pose the figure up. But one thing on his feet, he does have exposed studs down here where if you want to make one of the characters stand on his foot. I mean, again, we'll get Visible Woman here. You got that little exposed stud, again, to help with posing the figures with Galactus. There you go, like one standing on his foot. And you got got exposed studs there. You can, a lot of places you can try to stick figures. I kind of wish that they might have had something on his shoulder where you can put like Reed Richards up here like he's getting in his face or something like that. But, you know, that's all right. We still got plenty of places to put the figures on here. Alright guys, as far as that goes, this right here to me was a win. Let's get my table up here now. Let's fix the camera back so you can get a shot of this thing with a Fantastic Four posed on him. We'll get him on my little spinny table. We'll take one more look and I'll give my final assessment. Hello everyone, now you can see the man collects. Here we go guys, with Galactus. We got him posed up here. You got the Fantastic Four trying to get him. You can see there we got Johnny coming up over his shoulder. We got the Thing down there beating up his shins. You got Visible Woman trying to shoot up at him. And then Mr. Fantastic, he's got him in his clutches, and Reed Richards is in trouble, and the rest are trying to get him. Once again, guys, the Fantastic Four figures, I might have said a few negative things about them. They're minifigures. They're Lego minifigures. I still like the things. If that being said, the Thing one, honestly, when I went back over these before I turned the camera back on, that was probably the one that kind of bugs me the least. I think Thing should have been a bigger figure. I think they should have done him a little more justice on there, but that being said, this buildable Galactus figure, guys, this thing is fun. Before I got him up here on this spinny thing, I was doing a lot of different poses and stuff with him, and it's great. I really enjoy the buildable Galactus figure. As far as your price on this, and is it worth it? This is $59.99 regular retail price. I don't know, guys. I mean, some of the other buildable figures are usually $20, $30, $35, something like that. I feel for what you get. I feel for the IP, and Lego's pricing now is probably on par with that. But if you're wanting this set, I would try to long game it. I would try to get it on a clearance. Get it, maybe if run it on Target, run stuff on sale a lot. Maybe catch it on sale or something. Because $60 is probably pushing it for this set. Just given that you're only getting 427 pieces, so that's a huge price per piece, or piece per price, or whatever what you're getting with that. But once again, is it a nice set? Yes, it's very nice. Do I regret buying it? Absolutely not. I'm a huge fan of Galactus. I really enjoy this buildable figure, but however, $60 just to get the buildable figure, that's a little much. If the Fantastic Four figure is a little bit stronger, if you had a bigger bodied Thing figure, if you had an actual, you know, on fire version of Human Torch, I mean, it probably could have had a little more value for that, but again, $60 for this is up there. And then too, you got the sticker element to it for all the sticker parts you got to deal with. But for all the negatives, I really like the Galactus figure. If you're on the fence about this set and $60 is in your budget, by all means, go for it. It's a very nice brick built set from Lego. With all that being said, though, everyone, that's going to do it for this little review. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this set. Is $60 crazy? Do you think, given the current price of Lego and stuff, $60 is kind of on par with what you pay? And let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this set. But that is going to do it for this one. If you did enjoy this video, hit that like button. Once again, subscribe to the channel if you are not. Find me on Instagram. Follow me on there. And that is it for now. I will see you the next time the man builds.